This is the Maize on ASO Television. I am Rosemary UKOKO-TEGA. It is summary of weekly proceedings at both chambers of the National Assembly coming your way this time every Friday. Thanks for joining in. Today's in brief. Lawmakers recounting of Nigeria's journey since 1960 in commemoration of 63rd Independence Anniversary. Screening and confirmation session of 3 additional ministerial nominees at Senate. Stay with us for all details. We are live on DSTV channel 392, StarTimes TV channel 127, Free TV channel 507 on the UHF band on channel 38. Check out all editions of The Maize on our YouTube channel, ASO Radio and Television.
We are a nation blessed with people of diverse cultures, religions, languages, and opinions. It is ironic that we are now being ripped apart by our greatest strength, our diversity. We have allowed intolerance, insensitivity, bigotry, and nepotism to blind our vision of the greatness we can achieve working together as one. We may not have the same culture, nor religion, nor language, but we all belong to the same nation by the divine will of God. We did not choose to be Nigerians. Nigeria chose us. This nation is our divine heritage, and if we open our eyes, we would realize that what divides us pales in comparison to what unites us. And by the comparison and conciliation of our differences, we will grow until our differences disappear. Our unity cannot be willed by mere declarations, nor do we get unity by ignoring the questions that beg for answers. We must celebrate our diversity and debate our differences without fracturing our unity. Our strength is not in our numbers, but in our unity, because even the weak become strong when united. Nigeria unite.
This message is brought to you by Abuja Broadcasting Corporation, owners and operators of ASO Radio 93.5 FM Abuja, ASO Television DSTV Channel 392, StarTimes Terrestrial Channel 127, Free TV Channel 507, People's TV Channel 285, and UHF Channel 38.
You're watching The Maize on ASO Television. First, from the floor of the House, lawmakers, upon resumption of plenary sitting for the week, paid tribute to Nigeria at 63. The presiding officer, Deputy Speaker Mr. Benjamin Kalu, had directed Leader of the House, Professor Julius Ihonvere, to move a motion to create the platform for members to express themselves on the commemoration of the country's 63rd independence. The motion, which was seconded by the Minority Leader, Mr. Kingsley Chinda, had lawmakers appraising the country's progression since 1960. Some major takes from all contributions are true representation of the lawmakers and need for restructuring of the civil service for improved, effective service delivery. And I'll take you right to the floor.
The House notes that on Sunday, October 1st, 2023, Nigeria celebrated her 63rd independence anniversary. Also notes that the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, addressed the nation wherein he appreciated and acknowledged the contribution of Nigeria's past leaders, aware that from the day of independence, Nigeria has witnessed a lot of progress as well as challenges and deep contradictions. Also aware that the present administration is poised to address these challenges and provide far-reaching and sustainable solutions to our problems, resolves to 1. Urge the Nigerian political class and leaders in general to sit up, refocus, re-strategize, and work together to make Nigeria a better place for all. And 2, congratulate Nigerians and the President on the occasion of the 63rd Independence Anniversary. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Thank you, Leader. This country, sir, Mr. Speaker, is a country of people who have demonstrated a passion for growth and potential greatness. However, we experience our challenges as a nation with contemporaries that have scaled over the years to greatness. Mr. Speaker, over the years and decades, we have struggled with almost the same issues, coming out of some and returning into others, and unfortunately, going round and round the same cycle. That's one of the most unfortunate and unlucky position of this country within 63 years. Why did I say so, Mr. Speaker? Nigeria today has not been very lucky in this aspect. Look at the Southwest, thuggery, yahoo. Look at the Southeast, unknown gunmen terrorizing the citizens of this country. Look at the Northwest, look at the North Central, banditry, kidnapping. Mr. Speaker, look at the South, look at this threat to the economy of this country as a result of oil theft. Mr. Speaker, this country requires the resilience of our forefathers so that we can come together, redefine our situation, and look at how we can forge ahead and bring back this country to greatness. Mr. Speaker, one of the issues that is being avoided to be discussed in this country is the problems that we have in the public sector governance. The level of infectious corruption in our public sector governance bedevil our progress, but we fail to address this issue. Why did I say public sector? Our civil service today is not the civil service that we knew in the 1960s, where you have super permanent secretaries that will call ministers to order. Mr. Speaker, this is the only country that I have witnessed in this world where public officers or individuals are being given public office, but they go and celebrate the public office instead of sitting down, going into sober reflection and see how we can move this country into greatness. As long as we have not addressed this kind of challenges, we'll continue to face these problems. However,
your 2 minutes is over. Round up.
I will yield my time to other members, sir.
Thank you.
My dear colleagues, the truth is that the future of this country rests on our shoulders. Of the entire population, 360 have been chosen. And if you recall, and I keep saying, that the progress of any nation starts from the parliament. Yes, we get up every day, we chide the executive, but what about the parliament? Industrial revolution took place on the floor of the parliament. Independence of Nigeria was gained on the floor of the parliament. And so truly, if we must make progress, then that progress must start with us. If we want to ask ourselves the sincere question, are we truly independent? I'm sure that you know the answer. Politically, yes. Economically, the answer is no. Our people are suffering. There is poverty in the midst of plenty. Nigeria is not a poor nation by any standard, but our people are poor. And so what is the problem? If you look at sections 88 and 89 of the Constitution, it empowers us to check these problems, these anomalies we complain of. I think that as we speak about the independence of Nigeria today, that we should also know that it is time for us to talk less and do more. We have all the powers. We had attempted even to summon the president of the country to the parliament to answer questions. how far have we exercised our powers as parliamentarians? How well have we performed as parliamentarians to strengthen this country, to make sure that we have adequate security?
2 minutes is over.
It is not enough for us to debate every day, but we must begin to exercise our powers. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honourable Leader. Honourable Jimmy.
Speaker, I will start with the words of my professor. He said that the difference between a developing country and a developed country lies in 3 eyes.
Honourable Kuye, sit down. Honourable Kuye, sit down. This is an important issue.
He claims the first and the second eye. He claims both developing countries and developed countries have it. It is the last eye that we need to improve on. The first eye he calls instrument. The instrument he refers to means the Constitution. A developed country and a developing country have that in common. They all have constitutions. The second eye are institutions. There's no institution in the developed country that we don't have in a developing country like Nigeria. For instance, we have the CBN, we have the EFCC, they all have all those institutions. The distinguishing eye are the individuals. Honorable Sada Soli spoke about the capacity, the competence, the integrity of the civil service. In the developed countries, their civil service and the occupiers of their offices are top-notch. They're people pupilled with integrity, with competence, with patriotism, and with intellect. You'll be amazed that in developed countries, the people with who have the highest educational qualifications are the people attracted to the civil service. Is that the same here? The answer is an emphatic no. So we need to institutionalize reform in our civil service to be able to step up into the first world. Second of all, it is not all gloom for Nigeria. As we are today and with all our issues, we are still the biggest economy in Africa with a GDP of $500 million, in spite of the fact that we only generate 7,000 megawatts of power. So this is a big plus to our labor industry. They have worked hard in spite of all the impediments. Going forward, I think we need to ramp up on our power base so that we can leapfrog and join the Committee of Nations. Power.
2 minutes, 2 minutes is over. Thank you very much. Can I have Dasuki, Honourable, speak?
Mr. Speaker, honourable colleagues, I want to deviate a little bit and give this House an opportunity to work together with the Honourable Speaker. We all recall last week was a very historic week, and Mr. Speaker spoke on behalf of the National Assembly and the House of Representatives in particular. Mr. Speaker highlighted that for us to have a corrupt-free society, what we need to do that other governments haven't done is the living wage. So I don't think we have any better gift to Nigerians. By going back to Mr. Speaker's words exactly a week today, where he mentioned in his speech, he said let's walk the talk. That was his speech on resumption. So walking the talk, I think, is for the Parliament now to take it upon itself, led by the Speaker, to have a new living wage for Nigerians in the shortest possible time. If it's possible, Mr. Speaker, he should take the lead. If it means having a supplementary budget, let's give Nigerians a 63rd independent gift, which, like he rightly said, no other government has considered the living wage of the Nigerians. Thank you very much. I appreciate this.
You highlighted a very important issue raised by Honourable Speaker, who made it very clear without missing words. I was so proud of him the day he made that speech. And I'm sure all Nigerians were proud of our Speaker for standing up for the common man in this nation and making their voice heard without fear or favor, affection or ill-will. After all, that is what the Parliament is all about, standing with the people at all time. I really appreciate the Speaker for raising the bar when he made that speech. And like you said, we should leverage that speech and take it to the next level. It is important. Maine has been speaking so much today, and we are gender sensitive here. And we must allow female parliamentarians' voice to be heard. After all, we are trying to make sure that we revisit the issue of women inclusion, better inclusion in power. So I'll give Honorable Karija the go ahead and address Nigerians on what you think about this independence.
As a Nigerian, I always go by the stanza, though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. We only have ourselves as Nigerians with no diversity and go back to the former glory of unity, prosperity, and security, and go back to the drawing board where our forefathers worked from. We have to emulate whatever they stood up for. The forefathers that stood up to ensure that Nigeria stood up as one nation and one destiny. So we should go back and ask ourselves where we have gone wrong.
We're blessed with human resources. We're blessed with mineral resources. I believe what we should be thinking about is how to stop the brain drain, how to stop the mineral theft in Nigeria. We have the minerals to make our economy better. How do we stop the theft of our solid minerals? How do we stop the brain drain? So many countries are not blessed with a young, vibrant youth. We have over 60% of our population under 40. That is why other nations are trying to take all our youths that are very vibrant to their own countries. We need to stop the brain drain and we need to stop the mineral drain. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much.
Colleagues, arise, O compatriots. It was our anthem in the first line. We are all here, we have all reason to serve our fatherland in truth, with strength. But at the same time, Mr. Speaker, right honorable colleagues, as lawmakers, we have made the law, but at the same time, the law is being interpreted in another way whenever it goes out. Mr. Speaker, right honorable colleagues, it's something that the judiciary, the executive needs to be able to understand the harmonious relationship that this house, that we have risen to the challenge to give Nigerians the best since independence. Nigeria is a blessed country. Nigeria is that country that people that have decided to be true compatriots are given the chance to show who they are. It's a country that whatsoever you want to do, you have the opportunity to do it. But who truly, at the end of the day, are those people that don't show the truthfulness of what we desire as a people? That truthfulness is what needs to come into play by Nigerians that are given opportunity to serve in different capacity. Mr. Speaker, right honorable colleagues, as the chairman of science and technology in this house, the way forward in addressing the issue of insecurity and other economic challenges is technology. And I am praying that the executive, the president, will embrace technology to be able to address a lot of challenges going forward, so that when we are celebrating the next independence in this country, technology will come into play in addressing insecurity. Technology will come into play to look at the economy. Technology will come into play to address a lot of issues, because once we address these issues and we buy into technology, I can assure you that Nigeria will be better. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, let me start by saying that we have a great country, Nigeria, at 63. Despite our peculiarity all over the world, despite our challenges all over the world, we still remain a single entity called Nigeria. Secondly, according to AHAGA, the truth that set men free are in most cases the truth that men prefer not to hear. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, we are all aware that late 50s and early 60s, there were sporadic issuance of independence to colonial countries all over the world, which Nigeria is inclusive. Let us compare extent to which they have progressed compared to our country. We will realize that we appreciate our own. But I used to differ to the stand and position of our previous speaker that said we are not economically independent. As far as I'm concerned, Nigeria was given independence on 1st day of October 1960, both political and economy. We were the one that submitted back the economy because of our complacency, because of our attitude, because of the corrupt nature of our society, and so on and so forth. At the end of the day, before you realize what is happening, in as much as you cannot take care of yourself, somebody will be out there to take care of you.
Mr. Speaker, let me begin by paying homage to our founding fathers who brought about this country, Nigeria. Having said that, in the last 24 years, we have had an unbroken run of democratic rule, in which we have had 7 transitions from government to government.
Honorable Mansour Musa, you are the next. Get ready.
Today, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, one of the challenges that faces us as a country, as a people, is the issue of security. And over the last 24 years of our democratic journey since 1999, we have had these challenges.
The House, in adopting a motion standing in the name of about 10 lawmakers, urged the Inspector General of Police, IGP, and other security agencies to intensify efforts and deploy personnel and intelligence capabilities to secure the immediate and safe release of the 7 corps members abducted in Zamfara State while on their way to orientation camp for the compulsory 1-year national service last August. Mr. Onyime Idem presented the motion on behalf of the rest, while another lawmaker, Mr. Kabiru Maipales, proposed amendments which changed the heading of the motion to incorporate the 40 female students of the university in Zamfara State also abducted.
The House notes that the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, is a vital national program aimed at fostering unity and promoting national development by deploying graduates to various states for a mandatory 1 year of service. Also notes that on 17 August 2023, 8 corps members from Akwa Ibom State were abducted by gunmen in Zamfara State on their way to the place of primary assignment, PPA, with a current demand of 200 million naira. Aware that in May 2023, 7 corps members were kidnapped in Rivers State on their way from the orientation camp in Ondo State and released after paying ransom. Alarmed that the incident accounts for the many other corps members who have had to go through the traumatic experience of abduction in the course of their service to the nation. Worried that continuous reoccurrence.
Honorable, can you go to the prayers, please?
I'm going to round up, it's very short.
Just the prayers.
Targeted at innocent corps members has raised significant security concern, threatened the lives of young citizens, eroded public trust and confidence in the government's ability to protect its citizens, and pose the potential to mar the core objective of the National Youth Service Corps. The last paragraph, cognizance of the urgent need for drastic measures to secure the immediate release of the remaining 7 abducted corps members following the release of one of them, as confirmed by the DG of the National Youth Service Corps on 20th September 2023, and restore confidence in the nation's national security system.
Mr. Speaker, I have 2 amendments. Number 1, the heading of the motion. The heading of the motion call on the Inspector General of Police to intensify efforts to secure the immediate and safe release of 7 abducted corps members and 40 female students of the Federal University Gusau in Zamfara State. That's number one. Also goes to the prayer. Urge the IGP and their security agencies to intensify effort and deploy personnel to secure the immediate and safe release of 7 abducted corps members and 40 female students of Federal University Gusau who are still in captivity in Zamfara State. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That's my amendments.
House Committee on National Security and Intelligence is mandated to ensure compliance of the adopted resolutions and report back within 1 week for further legislative action. Let's quickly peep through some other top resolutions of the House within the week before heading to the Red Chamber. The House called on the Inspector General of Police, IGP, to launch an immediate and thorough investigation into alleged police brutality and extrajudicial killings in the Oshodi Isolo II Federal Constituency of Lagos State and ensure those responsible face the full wrath of the law. This followed adoption of an urgent motion by Mr. Jesse Okejo-Onua-Kolusi. The lawmaker had expressed displeasure over the recent event leading to the death of 5 school children, a pregnant woman, and a tricycle driver by officers of police and lastmen in the state. Here is a little of the motion as was on the floor.
The House noted the mayhem unleashed on the residents of Agor Road and East Axis by police and lastman officials on Tuesday, 3rd of October 2023, that led to the death of 5 persons, a pregnant woman and the 2 children and a tricycle driver, have brought constant fear and anguish for our people. And this has created uncertainty and insecurity since yesterday. Informed that these officers were paid to protect the life of our people, but out of avarice and greed had led to the death of these Nigerians. The police officers and I were dragging the steering of a moving vehicle with the driver, and in the process the vehicle lost control and got the Nigerians killed. Worried that the report from my constituency painted a harrowing picture of a community of Nigerians with police brutality and extrajudicial killing yesterday, it is our duty as a representative of the people to protect and stand by our people.
Your prayers are going to be voted on by the House, and we commiserate with the families that lost their dear ones, and we urge the police to find a way to stop this from happening. We have always advocated in this House that it is important to wear body cameras by police officers so that there will be the tracking of activities of the officers while on duty. That way they'll be more accountable and their services more transparent. It's really a painful thing to hear, but we urge the youths and the members of that community in your constituency to remain calm, because this is not a lawless society. The instruments of law will be employed to make sure that we find a lasting peace in your constituency. Let me ask those in support of this motion, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it.
The House also, the same day, resolved to address rising cases of suicides and suicidal tendencies in the country through the prioritization and implementation of provisions of the Mental Health Law 2021. This was through a motion on the subject by Mr. Uchenna Clement Nwachukwu. The lawmaker on the mic.
The House notes that many cases of suicide unreported, underreported, and most unreported in Nigeria due to social stigmatization. It emphasizes that suicide is seen as a taboo in most parts of the country and hidden by families due to cultural factors. Concerned that the fresh cases of suicide as published in the print media have a greater proportion of youth as victims. Worried that the risk factor for suicide, such as mental health condition, substance use, access to legal means, prolonged stress, unemployment, financial crisis, child abuse and neglect pose huge threats to Nigerians. Disturbed that there has not been adequate sensitization of the provisions of the Act and guidelines on how people struggling with mental health problems can receive help. Cognizant that awareness campaigns should reduce stigma and ensure the acceptability of the regulations to protect and the dignity of people struggling with mental health. And I pray that the House resolve to urge the Federal Ministry of Health and collaborate with relevant health institutions to ensure that research on mental health is put into practice to ensure evidence-based care to Nigerian citizens. Mandate the House Committee on Health Services to evaluate the implementation of the content of the Mental Health Act and conduct the need assessment of the full implementation of the Act. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
This motion is very, very important. It's dear to me. I'm passionate about it. So I would like to add a third amendment based on the motion. The third amendment should read that urge the Federal Ministry of Health in conjunction with National Orientation Agency to establish a national counseling center where people with mental health can receive mental counseling or any other issues pertaining to mental health. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
At another day House sitting, Thursday precisely, lawmakers urged the federal government to embark on cost-cutting measures to reduce non-debt recurrent expenditures. A member, Mr. Ademorin Kuyi, had moved a motion on need to investigate the nation's galloping non-debt recurrent expenditure. There was also a motion on the same day urging the federal government to declare August 29 every year public holiday, that is National Flag Day, in commemoration of the death of Pa Taiwo Akinkunmi, the designer of the Nigerian national flag. Mr. Kelechi Nwogu and Mr. Abbas Adigun co-sponsored the motion, and here is how the motion was received on the floor.
The House knows that the Nigerian national flag of green, white, green was designed by Pa Taiwo Akinkunmi. Mr. Speaker, Akinkunmi died at the age of 23 years old, who until his dismissal was commonly referred to as Mr. Flag. Also note that the national flag unveiled in Ibadan, the Uyo State capital, made history in the Guinness World Record as the largest flag in the world, covering 3,275 square meters. We resolve that we observe a minute silence in honor of late Pa Taiwo Akinkunmi. Also urge the federal government to direct that the flag be flying at half-mast in all government institutions on the day of his funeral, and give Pa Taiwo Akinkunmi befitting state burial. Mr. Speaker, we also plead that this motion should be transmitted to the Senate for concurrence. I so move.
I will replace it with urge the federal government to declare 29 August annually as Michael Taiwo Akinkunmi National Flag Day in commemoration of his death. That is with regard to prayer 2. Then prayer 4. Instead of what he has, I think it should be also urge the federal government to give late Pa Michael Taiwo Akinkunmi a befitting state burial. These are my two amendments.
Thank you. Very good. Your own amendment.
So my own amendment, my proposal was just to delete it because the resolution of the House is powerful enough.
Yeah, but you see, it's a motion For a bill is a given, you must transmit. But for not all motion that you transmit for concurrence.
For a bill, we'll definitely have to. But for a motion, our resolution is powerful and you can just go rather than wait for concurrence of Senate.
No, we have to.
I suggest to delete. That was my own proposal.
We need concurrence.
Back to the Senate. One top proceeding on the floor of the Red Chamber within the week was screening of 3 additional ministerial nominees as forwarded by the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and their subsequent confirmation by the Senate. These are Mr. Balarabe Abbas Lawal, replacing former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai, whose nomination suffered setback, Dr. Jamila Bio and Mr. Olawale Olawande. Here is a scene of the screening and confirmation sessions at the Senate.
For appointment as ministers of the government of the Federation, in accordance with Section 147, subsection 2 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. 1. Dr. Jamila Bio Ibrahim from Kwara State. 2. Balarabe Abbas Lawal from Kaduna State. 3. Mr. Ayodele Olawande from Ondo State. Mr. President, distinguished senators, in order to carry out this exercise in conformity with our Standing Order 12 on floor privileges, I will move a motion that the Senate do admit the Special Advisor to the President on National Assembly matters, the nominees, as well as non-serving senators and non-serving members of House of Representatives, as well as serving members and other government officials present in that regard into the Senate chamber. Mr. President, I so move.
Minority Leader. To admit all the individuals mentioned, I so second.
The motion has been moved and seconded, distinguished colleagues. Those who are in support of that motion say aye. Those who are against say nay. The ayes have it.
Permit me to also extend my gratitude and thanks to the Governor of Kwara State, His Excellency Malam Abdurrahman Abdulrazak, the Chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, the architect of modern-day Kwara State, who is unavoidably absent today. He was here yesterday, but the session could not hold. I thank him greatly for giving me a platform that has made me visible and eligible for being considered for a greater responsibility. Allow me to extend my special acknowledgement to my parents, because today marks a proud and historic moment for my family and my community. Through mentorship provided by my parents, I have gathered the wealth of wisdom, experience, and humility, as well as tapped into the wellspring of innovation and vitality inherent in the younger generation. Because I carry with me the essence of my roots, and whilst not forgetting where I come from, I believe that this experience will inform my decision and my work for the youth of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I wish to extend my heartfelt appreciation, because they say it takes a village to raise a child, particularly a girl child. I come to you not merely as a qualified nominee, but as an individual who has devoted her life to the advancement of youth development. My journey has been driven by an unwavering belief in the potential of our youth, leading me to achieve several noteworthy milestones. Today, I have been given the chance of a lifetime to contribute my quota to nation building. In a government that has given unprecedented priority, not just to our country's youth, but has also given young women like myself a seat at the decision-making table. My name is Dr. Jamila Bio Ibrahim. I am from Gure Town, a rural Western Borough community in Barotain local government area of Kwara State. I was born on February 7th, 1986. I believe that my education, my upbringing, and my career have prepared me for the task ahead.
Nominee, it is wish of the Senate that you just say a word on what you want to bring to bear, and then how you want to play a role and become a role model for other Nigerian youths. How you want to use this position as a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to inspire other youths in Nigeria to know that yes, there is hope for this country, and that there is no need for them to take their talents elsewhere to go and build other economies. And thereafter, you can take a bow.
I want to appreciate you for giving me the opportunity to speak, because coming here, I thought that asking me to just take a bow and go and not saying anything would be a great disservice to the Nigerian youth. Yes, thank you very much for the opportunity, sir. Well, we're aware of the challenges that Nigerian youth are faced with: underemployment, unemployment, yes, and of course, poor access to health, access to affordable and quality healthcare, poor access to quality education, and of course, we are deprived of skills that will make us keep up with the current realities of the job market. So in my capacity as Minister of Youth Development of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, my role, if confirmed, Mr. President, thank you, sir, if confirmed as the Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to pilot the affairs of the Youth Ministry, my first and most important role would be to inspire young people. I hope to inspire young Nigerians, and I would like to quote what leadership means. It's a quote by John Maxwell, one of my favorite authors. He said, "Being a great leader is all about having a genuine willingness and a true commitment to leading others to achieve a common vision and goal through positive influence." So I hope to use my office to positively influence Nigerian youth to have a voice at the decision-making table. And when we're designing our youth development plan, we hope to bring young people to the table so we can have an all-inclusive plan that profiles a bottom-up approach in order for young Nigerians to take ownership of the youth development plan and its implementation. And we hope that this plan surpasses the administration of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, there are a lot of things that are very thrilling about this nominee. And that's why I decided to speak first. Coincidentally, she was born the year I graduated from the university. And secondly, the primary school she attended in New Busa was the same primary school that my first son attended. Sir, we have to thank Mr. President for gradually bringing in youth of very quality background. People that were running away from Nigeria are being encouraged to stay in Nigeria and be part of the solution. This is very encouraging. We have seen a lot of women, not just women, women of quality materials, doctors, engineers, lawyers, fine. The academicians that are running away from politics are being brought in now. And this is a good sign for the prospects and progress of this country. In line of this, Mr. President, I don't have any question, and I don't think we should ask this nominee question, than to appreciate Mr. President and to congratulate her and wish her success as a representative of Nigerian youth since just 37. And reading through her CV, this is not the first appointment, maybe higher appointment. She has served in some other lower pedestals. If she didn't do well there, they would not consider her for higher posts. So I'm proposing that we allow her to take a bow honorably, to take a leave of the Senate in honor of Nigerian youth as so submit.
We want to thank Mr. President for identifying our own as worthy out of millions of youth in this country, competent youth, courageous and creative. Our own has been given the privilege to go and lead them in this ministry. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Let me just say that the nominee, you've heard her clearly. You've seen what she has to tell us, what she has been up to. Our CV is very, very clear, from primary school, secondary school to university. No commerce, no K, all is excellent, all true. Mr. President, I can assure you, the kingdom she came from, she's a daughter of Borgu Kingdom, which Jagaban, the president of Nigeria, is part of our kingdom. Our kingdom is a courageous, brilliant, hardworking kingdom made of people. This is one of our products. Be rest assured, she will go and make not just the Senate, but the Nigerian youth proud. So let us ask her to take a bow and go, and let's go and start our work immediately.
I have many female children, and I look forward to seeing one of them stand like you in future. Please take a bow. Next.
Mr. President, I want to thank you for this privilege to stand and speak on behalf of our nominee. First, to thank Mr. President for nominating him, and to quickly state that the three senators from Kaduna have no objection to his nomination. Also, to state quickly that he was also born in my senatorial district. He attended the same A levels like me, where he also became a lecturer when I jackpot to University of, the same year I jackpot to University of Lagos to commence my studies as a lawyer. He's a seasoned administrator from his resume as presented. He's also somebody who has understood the
Mr.
Wait. Can you say water, give me water. Water and sugar. Water and sugar. Get sugar, and water. Is there, where is Dr. Wale? Can the camera see immediately?
My vision for the ministry rests on three fundamental pillars: conservation, resilience, and collaboration. We must prioritize protection and preservation of our previous natural resources, strengthen our environmental regulation, and foster a sense of stewardship among our communities. Building resilience in climate change is paramount, and we will all develop robust adaptation and mitigation strategies to promote renewable energy in our country, and to integrate climate resilience in all sectors. Collaboration will be the cornerstone of our efforts, as well as bringing together governments, private sector, entities, civil societies, and international partners to to work with us, because environment is very key to our development. Environment is key in the sense that we all live within environment.
So you know, there were other resolutions at both chambers within the week, a couple of which border on insecurity, road construction and general infrastructure. However, our time could only permit the much we have highlighted on the program today. It's on this note I say farewell for this week. Be my guest again Friday next week at 8 p.m. Till then, watch all editions of The Maze on our YouTube channel, ASO Radio and Television. I am Rosemary UKOKO-TEGA.